Hello, my name is Kristi, and I'm an associate at the Wadsworth Public Library. And today I'm going to talk with you about one of my all-time favorite things, book to movie adaptations. Movie theaters are closed right now, but listen, people, we have some binge reading to do before they open back up. All the books I'm going to share with you are available to read right now, and you'll have them finished before the movies come out later this year. Lots of book adaptations are scheduled to come out in 2020, but I'm going to share with you my top 10. I'll give you an overview of the book without any spoilers, tell you a little bit about the movie, and I'll also provide links in the slides to any official first looks or trailers that are available. The ebooks are available on the Ohio Digital Library by using the Overdrive and Libby apps, and most of them are also available on Hoopla. The first book I'd like to talk about is The Secret Garden, written by Frances Hodgson Burnett. It's a classic children's novel written in 1911, and it's about an orphan who is sent to live with her uncle in his English countryside estate, where she finds a magical garden on the property. The book has a dark atmosphere and some unlikable characters in the beginning, but the journey over the course of the book for them to become better people is a wonderful one to follow. The new movie stars Colin Firth and Julie Walters, or Mrs. Weasley for those Harry Potter movie fans out there. There's also a lot of HP alums behind the scenes. It was written by Jack Thorne, who also wrote Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and it is produced by David Heyman, who worked on all 8 Harry Potter movies. This one is scheduled to be released in August. My next selection is The Good Shepherd, written by C.S. Forester. It's a historical fiction novel about a World War II Navy commander's attempt to lead his destroyer past a group of German U-boats in the Battle of the Atlantic. It's entirely absorbing. It has a good bit of nautical jargon and military protocol, which can get a bit repetitive, but the story arc, the tension, the journey, it's exceptionally exemplified. The movie is Tom Hanks, who also wrote the screenplay, and it is titled Greyhound, which is the name of the ship in the book. And with a $50 million plus budget on this one, expect a lot of action. It is due to be released in June. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. It's a contemporary fiction novel about a severe agoraphobic psychologist with a drinking problem who accidentally witnesses a crime while she's spying on her new neighbors. It's not mind-blowing or groundbreaking, but it is a page-turning goodness. It's pulpy and fast-paced and a popcorn thriller, which usually translates pretty well to the screen. It has an impressive cast, with Amy Adams in the lead, Gary Oldman, and Julianne Moore. And let's face it, if you're going to make a movie about a woman psychologically unraveling, Amy Adams is a good bet. And based on the trailer, it looks like it's going to be a powerful acting showcase. This one should be released later in May. Buckle up for a twisted tale in my next selection, Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. This is the first in a series of 8 young adult science fiction novels, and it's described by Colfer as Die Hard with fairies. It's the story of a 12-year-old evil genius who's descended from a long line of criminal masterminds, but he doesn't know what he's taken on when he kidnaps a fairy that's being held for a large ransom of gold. If you're at all young at heart or just looking for something to switch up in your reading, you should check this one out. The book had me laughing and gasping and reminiscing, and it's just a plain good old time. Disney originally had planned to release this in theaters this summer, but has since decided to release it exclusively on Disney Plus streaming service starting June 12th. Rumors have it that many of the characters have been reimagined, And according to the trailer, it looks like they've conflated both first two books, so you may want to check them out. My next selection is The One and Only Ivan, written by Katherine Applegate. It's a fabulous book for elementary and middle graders, and it's probably my favorite book about animals since Charlotte's Web. It's about a silverback gorilla who lives in a mall and has grown accustomed to humans looking at him through the glass and doesn't think about his life before. That is, until he meets a baby elephant named Ruby, and he's faced to look at things through her eyes. It's a book about finding oneself, friendship, animal rights, and hope, all through the eyes of a gorilla. The movie will be a CG hybrid film. Ivan will be a CG gorilla and voiced by Sam Rockwell. And the mall owner will be live action and played by Bryan Cranston. It's scheduled to be released in August. And bring your tissues to this one. Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance is my next selection. It's a nonfiction book, and it's a story of a powerful account of a Yale Law School graduate's growing up in poor Rust Belt, Ohio. It looks at the struggles of the American white working class, the opioid crisis, and how he escaped it all. The book elicited passionate responses, both positive and negative, from readers. It can be difficult to read at times. The stories are often tearing and heartbreaking. The movie is months from being released, but it's also already getting a lot of awards buzz. It's directed by Ron Howard and stars Amy Adams and Glenn Close. Although it was mostly filmed in Atlanta, Georgia, part of the film was shot here in the Buckeye State. It's scheduled to be released in November on Netflix. My next selection is News of the World by Paulette Giles. It's a uniquely written historical fiction, and it takes you on a 400-mile-long, adventurous, and sometimes dangerous journey across the state of Texas in 1870 after the American Civil War. It's a small book at about 200 pages, but it's a truly lovely read where not a word is wasted. Paul Greengrass is directing the film, which also stars Tom Hanks. This will be the first time they've worked together since the movie Captain Phillips. There's not much else known about the book right now, but it seems like it's going to be a promising combination, and it's due to be released in December of this year. Nile is a beloved Agatha Christie mystery, and it's a story of a young heiress who is murdered aboard a cruise ship on the Nile River, and the renowned detective on holiday in Egypt must find the killer. Agatha Christie really knows how to flesh out her characters. They are compelling and complicated, and the book is full of conspiracies and confusions and collusion and is utterly fascinating. It's a follow-up of sorts to the 2017's Murder on the Orient Express, both being directed and starring Kenneth Branagh. He is joined by an all-star cast of suspects, including Annette Bening, Russell Brand, Gal Gadot, and Armie Hammer. It's sure to be a wild ride, and it should be released sometime in October, not August, October of this year. My next choice is The Witches by Roald Dahl. It's another elementary or middle grade read, but it's worth rereading or reading for the first time. It's about a young boy whose parents have died and who is now living with his grandmother. They go to a hotel in England where a witches' convention is taking place, and the story unfolds from now. It's scary in a fantastic way, and it's a well-crafted book that translates for children and adults alike. The new movie is the second adaptation of this book. The first starred Angelica Houston and had a huge cult following. This iteration will star Anne Hathaway as the Grand High Witch, and will be acting alongside Octavia Spencer, Stanley Tucci, and Chris Rock. It is scheduled to be released in time for Halloween. The last book I'm going to talk about today is Dune by Frank Herbert. It's often described as the quintessential science fiction film. It is based around a planet where they mine a spice that extends human life and gives you heightened awareness. A well-known quote from the book says, "He who controls the spice controls the universe." The book follows two feuding houses and is kind of like a Game of Thrones in space. It's a dense book with a very complex and intriguing plot. This will be the second adaptation of this novel, and most are hoping it will erase the memory of the 1984 one. The director is aiming to be faithful to the novel and has assembled an incredible cast, including Timothée Chalamet, Jason Momoa, Zendaya, Josh Brolin, and Javier Bardem. It's set to be released sometime in December. Hopefully, one of these books piqued your interest and you'll be able to read it before the movie comes out later this year. If you need any assistance accessing ebooks or using the apps, you can call us Monday through Saturday. That's wrong. It should say Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 330-334-5761. You can also email us anytime at reference@wadsworthlibrary.com. Thank you for using the Wadsworth Library, and have a great day.